Welcome to another episode of Mental Wellness Insights. Today we are going to talk about curses. The topic of curses is a very contentious topic. And a lot of people mention curses on passing without knowing exactly what it entails, what it means, how it comes about. And therefore today we have Pastor Dennis to enlighten us a little bit more on curses so that as we go on with our life, we may avoid issues that may bring curses, but we may also know exactly what a curse is. Welcome, Pastor Dennis.
Thank you.
And we will start straight away I will start by asking you, what is a curse?
Okay.
Yes.
I thought you'd be asking me, are you cursed?
I know you are not blessed.
Well, thank you so much for having me again. And a curse is a negative word or statement that is spoken to or about somebody or something with the intention to harm that thing, person or place.
A negative word.
Negative word or statement.
Or statement.
That is uttered.
Uttered by who?
We must come to that one. But
Yeah.
Generally it is a negative word
That is uttered.
that is uttered. If you're going to make it so briefly, it could just be a negative word that is uttered with the intention to harm the person or the thing or the place that it has been spoken against. Because as you will realize going on, curses don't only affect people. They affect things and even affect places.
Oh, this is new even to me. I've always thought that somebody will only curse a person.
Let me give you an example.
Yeah.
The people who growing up in our African setup, they will say this piece of land is ancestral land. This land should not be sold at all. It must be left to the children and the grandchildren. But he says, if you will try to sell this piece of land, you will never know peace. So there is an embargo on that land.
Piece of land.
And you can live there, you will prosper. Everything will be okay. But the day when you choose to sell that piece of land in contradiction to the wish of the primary owner of that land, there will be trouble.
Okay, now I understand. So in this case, the land is what is cursed, not a person.
Yes.
So anybody else, not necessarily a particular person, trying to sell this land will come into this curse.
Yes.
Okay. So a curse is a word that is spoken. Now, who is capable of speaking a word to curse? For example, can I curse my parent?
That's a good one. And maybe just before we go to that one also,
Yeah.
Many curses are spoken.
Yeah.
But there are few curses that are not spoken. For instance, if you would do something that generally God has forbidden, that's biblically speaking. If you go do something that generally God has forbidden, there may be no one to speak that now because you've done this, such and such a thing will happen to you. But because you went and did the forbidden, then you will attract something which is now a curse onto your life. It was not spoken, but it is something that was done against the order of God.
So again, we can put it this way then, because essentially God is word.
Yes.
And so he spoke this before our time.
Good.
So we are still coming back to curse being word spoken.
Very true.
Yes.
I'm saying this because some people...
But now this curse is not spoken by a human being.
Human being,
yes.
The people who do some things and they do not realize that whatever they did provoked a curse. So because they never had anybody speaking a curse to them, now they think
it is okay.
It's okay,
yeah.
Or they don't relate it to be a curse in their lives. You asked a question, who can curse?
Yeah.
This is where we now get into the details. One, anybody in authority. Anybody in authority, if they have a reason, they may not even now say, I'm cursing you, I'm cursing you, no. They may only express their frustration and maybe speak words that you have done this to me. Now you will not find peace. Now the shape of those words will be taken and translated into a suffering of its own kind and presented to you. They only say, you have done this to me as your father. And now you have hurt me. Life will deal with you.
Now I will ask that you give us an example. In our one of our previous episodes, you have spoken about people, particular people who spoke maybe against their sons and a curse to be. Yes.
Well, let me give an example because we'll actually come back again onto who can speak a curse.
Yeah.
Because one of them is people in authority.
Yeah.
And this being parents, this even being teachers, this being pastors, the people who will go do things in church, mess up around the altar, do things, and they leave the man or woman in authority in that place hurt. And when they walk out, they're actually walking out with a curse. So anybody in authority can speak words that can affect the people under them. So a parent is just one of them. It can be an uncle, it can be a grandfather, anybody in authority. You know, employers can actually speak words that will affect their employees. That I know of a person who worked as a librarian, and after some time she had issues with the institution, so she went out and destroyed all the records of the library. Literally destroyed every record in that place, and she went away. After that, the school that came and saw what she had done and said, you have destroyed so many things. You have destroyed even our children's details. We don't know anything. You will never find any stable employment. So the employer, because you destroyed what was feeding you, and you destroyed records and details of many children there, now the employer has a ground to speak words that can affect you. So not only family, this thing works even in the marketplace. You can be in a school and you misbehave. You are doing wrong, and the people you leave behind hurting, they can speak words. People in authority, one of them, you remind me, we talk about anybody in a covenant. You are a wife and a husband. You have marriage covenant. These two people can curse each other. And that's why even in family setup, when a husband is genuinely angry against the wife, the works and businesses of that wife will not succeed. If the wife is grieved and hurting and is angry at the husband and is speaking negative things, the progress of that husband will be hindered. So these are people in covenant. We said 1, people in authority, number 2, people in covenant. But now for family, to give you an example.
Yes, I want to because a lot of children are playing around with the parents or those people who have brought them up as parents.
Mm-hmm.
And people are becoming very careless in our society today.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that a lot of curses are getting out there in the society and affecting a lot of people, even those who are not connected to these curses.
Let me give you one.
Yeah.
Some time ago, I got a call, and I picked this call. It was late night. Nowadays, I'm a bit more wiser. There are times when I refuse to pick calls. You know why?
No.
Because I don't want to bring you a prayer request tomorrow. You pray for my marriage. There are people who will never call you anytime. But when they have a problem, they will call you at midnight, at 1, at 2. When they are okay and everything is okay, they will never call you. So they will wait until they have a problem. And they will make sure.
That is human nature. I will for you when I'm in need of you.
But it's good for fellowship. Just make friendship so that I can pick a call because this is my friend.
Yeah.
This is somebody who talks to me. But somebody who never calls you at all. Maybe picked your number and just kept quiet. When you see a new number coming in, if you are busy doing something else, you will say, I will call back later. But if it's somebody you know, this is Dennis calling, this is Pamela calling, you will actually want to know what they are saying. So those days, I was not yet married, I was alone, and so I got a call near midnight. Somebody called and said, come, I want to see you the following day. I went to meet with him. They said to me, please pray with me. I want to go back home. And I wondered, what kind of prayer request is this? You brought me from the house to come and meet you, to pray for you, to go back? Asked, where is home? I thought maybe home is a different country. But it was in Kiganjo. Not far away. It should be around maybe 2.5 hours, so 3 hours from Nairobi. So he tells me it has been 13 years since I was ever at home. I have been in Nairobi for 13 years. I have never went back home. And I left home not in a very good way. He says, when I left home, we had a quarrel with daddy over land. And being the youngest among the boys, I was a bit naive. I thought daddy is not just doing things right. So the boy went and drank and came home. Daddy also had also tested something. Daddy was also in high spirits. And now they have exchanged. In the process of exchanging words, this boy, now the man I'm meeting, gets a fist and throws at the father. He wants to knock him. Daddy ducked and the fist passed. So now daddy said, young boy, the other time I was holding you down and your mother was wrapping napkins around you. So now you have grown and put on muscles. You want to fight me, your father. I will not fight you. But he said, the same way you made a fist out of your hand to strike me, I pray for you. Life will strike you. And he added, also, the same way I ducked and missed your fist, anything good in this life will always miss you. Anything good in this life will always miss you. And the young man said, I don't care. After some time, it appeared to him, now leave the Kiganjo, you come to Nairobi and make money. And now by the time I'm meeting him, he has been in Nairobi for 13 years. married 4 times.
So marriage has been darking him?
Yes, and he has not married 4 times with 3 children from 3 different women. And now the last place he was cohabiting with a woman, he'd been used to mistreating the woman, and the people in the area heard the woman scream, so they came and beat this man up. Now he was calling me from a guest room. When he was calling me, he said, "I heard you preaching sometime and I took your number. So I decided, let me just call you because I was feeling so suicidal." And I said to him, "Bro, but 13 years, why don't you go back to daddy? He's still there." He said, "Yes, he's still there, but I don't know what keeps me." He says, "I make money. I don't know where that money goes."
Money darks him, just like the father said.
Yes, he had some paper bag, plastic bag with his clothes in. He told me, "This is the only thing for 13 years I can show you what I have gathered in Nairobi." They say, the words of my father could be killing me. Those were his words. The words of my father could be killing me. I said, "Bro, I'm not praying for you." He looked very surprised. I said, "I'm not praying for you." Because sometimes people are looking for prayers as a substitute for something they need to go and correct. There are prayers that will not just wash away everything. No. If somebody needs to go back and make peace, they need to go back and make peace. There are people who they have offended a living parent. They have issues with a father, a mother who is still surviving, but they will cry at the pulpit, but they will not be willing to go back and kneel down before their father and ask, "Daddy, forgive me." If you were to remember the prodigal son, when he went and things got scattered, he came back saying, "I will go back and talk to my father."
Yeah.
And say that I've sinned against you and against God. So it's not just talking to God. If there are people you need to talk to, you have to talk to them. Now the guy told him, "The only thing I pray for you is you go home. I pray daddy softens his heart." We shall talk maybe in another episode how to handle it when the people who cast you are not willing to release you. There are people who, I know people who said, for instance, "I don't want my daughter to ever be married to a certain tribe." And now by all means and all wisdom, this daughter has found a man from that forbidden tribe, and there is no reason why they should not get married.
Remember the story of Auntie.
We should have recorded that already.
It was Auntie who?
Auntie Jane.
Auntie Jane. Yeah.
So now, such a kind of a scenario, what do you do where the person says, "I will not even come to your wedding, I will not come to your family, I will never step in your home as long as that woman is married to you"? There are those kind of scenarios where now we will find biblical reasons to sort of ignore those words and apply scriptural authority, which is higher than parental authority in some cases. And you are covered in that way. But we can talk about it
in another episode.
Yes. Now this guy goes back home, he finds daddy still there. Daddy is old enough, 13 years later, he has a walking stick. He turns around and strikes down. He says, "Boy, in Kiswahili, ulisema unaenda kutafuta pesa. You said you are going to look for money. Have you found the money?" They said, "I told you you will come back here with slippers. What do you have in your feet?" And looking down, he remembered, "God, exactly told me I will come back here with slippers." And he has open shoes of 100 Kenya shillings, like $1 only, in his feet, just like slippers. And those are 13 years ago. Every word the old man spoke about has come to pass. So it is true. Curses are real.
Curses are real.
Very real. And sometimes they are spoken and forgotten.
Yeah.
The people who even speak them may even forget some of those words, but they are recorded. They are spiritual, and they will pursue the person and keep on obstructing their paths, diverting their blessings, destroying their opportunities, frustrating their progress, and you keep on wondering what's wrong.
A lot of times you will say somebody has bewitched you, and yet it is the curse emanating from your actions.
If you ask me, sometimes a curse is more stronger than witchcraft.
Looks like.
Sometimes a curse is more, because witchcraft is a spell. We just say in the name of Jesus, the spell is broken, the person is free from the spell. But now, somebody who is genuinely cursed by a father whom he offended or she offended, this person, he or she will come to the altar. You will lay hands on them. You will pray over them, and nothing will happen. Because some of them are not even willing to confess. There are some kind of sins that require confession. It's a place in James chapter 5 where it says, confess your sins to one another that you may be healed. So there are things that must be confessed in order for there to be healing. And people don't want to do that. So because of that, you will hold on to something which maybe you know, I did something. If you are to check the Bible, today when we go to church, we say Jesus is the Lion of the tribe of Judah. But if everything went well, according to script and tradition of that time, the firstborn was called Reuben.
Yeah.
So now it should have been Jesus is the Lion of the tribe of Reuben. But Reuben went and slept with one of the concubines of his father. Daddy had it and kept quiet. Genesis 49 from verse 1. The old man Jacob is dying. He says, you my sons, come here, and I will tell you what will happen to you in the latter days. And he begins with the file of Reuben. He says, Reuben, you are my firstborn, excelling in power and strength. You are the first sign of my strength. But as turbulent as waters, you will no longer excel. Why? You went onto my bed and you defiled it. And that's how the blessing of the firstborn evaded him. He goes to number 2 and number 3, Simeon and Levi. And he says, Simeon and Levi, you are men of anger. You have killed men. You have even killed oxen in your anger. Let me not dwell in your counsel. Then number 4, Judah. He says, Judah, you are the one your brothers will praise. He says, the scepter of rulership will never depart from your tent. And now look at it. That which was supposed to have come on Reuben evaded him, missed Levi and Simeon, it went to Judah. So that's how curses operate. This is a biblical example also about Jacob, who is angry at the conduct of his son, and he speaks words against him, and those words haunt him.
Wow. Now back to square one. We were talking about where curses emanate. Yeah. You mentioned,
You mentioned what? Authority.
Authority.
People with authority.
Yes.
We said teachers, parents, grandparents, uncles, anybody in authority. The people who could come to a house and you are employed to take care of the children of this family. You are a house manager or a house help, and you mistreat the children of that house, because after all they are just another person's children. And maybe later the owners of the house come to realize you've done this, and they speak words. They say, so you have done this to our children. Okay, you will also have your own children. So now this is not even your parents. They are not your parents, but they were in authority over you. What you did provoked them to speak some words, and those words can follow. you. So anybody in authority, employer, teacher, a pastor, be careful how you behave around authority. There are times even when you completely disagree with some things, express your disagreements in a respectful way.
In other words, don't do malicious things. Maybe even to revenge on them.
Yes.
Because it will bounce back on you.
Often.
Just be fair.
Yes.
In how you deal with people. Yeah.
Do not overstep the expression of your dissatisfaction sometimes, because daddy may be wrong, mom may be wrong, but do not begin saying things that will provoke them to ask, why did we give birth to this one? There are times they could be literally very wrong, but now you speak words, and those words, although they were wrong, the words they speak, they have a reason to hurt you.
Now, can a parent unknowingly curse a child? Probably this child is doing something. A child who is still not really aware of what they are doing. But this is a very difficult child, always annoying you. And you calling them, can you curse by you calling you dog or you?
That's a good one. And my name is Dennis. That name I did not give to myself. It was given to me by my parents.
Yeah.
Before I even knew myself, I became conscious of me. There was already a tag on me, Dennis, and I'm carrying it until now. So, especially now parents, whatever we speak over our children subconsciously begins to form in them. They called me a Dennis, and now many years later I'm still becoming a Dennis. The Dennis is still going on. That which they called many years ago, when he was a day old or 2 days old. Now, years later, the Dennis is still Dennis.
To just interrupt a little, I hear it said that if you are named after a person, more often than not, your character resembles that person you are named after. Is that true?
It could be true, and it's a whole new discussion, a little bit more spiritual, because one of the way of transmitting spiritual attributes is by naming. You'll be amazed, in scripture, Joseph and Mary could not just allow to name the child they are going to birth. They are given a name. They said that the name shall be called Jesus.
Okay, that's another topic for another day.
Different one.
Yeah, I digress, but
yes, but
so
it's very true. Names could actually be a channel through which the person who is named can carry attributes of the persons who held the name before. And so here you are in the family. You have children. You speak words about those children. Those words are not just empty. Whatever you ask is true. It is possible that the things we speak, even when the children are young, they kick a little bottle that has milk, you bought a liter or so, and you call them a dog, you call them useless, you call them this.
You stupid.
The curses could have these two angles to them. They could be psychological and spiritual. Because psychologically, when you call me a dog,
you start behaving like
a dog. You know, I keep on wondering, why did daddy call me a dog? Why do they call me useless? Even when people are doing some good things, I feel, even daddy said I'm useless. So it suppresses you in a way psychologically. Somebody who is kept on told you are useless, you can't do it, you are not good enough, you are not beautiful, you are not handsome, you are not this. It kills their esteem. So it has a psychological effect where negative words are spoken in the hearing of a person. Apart from it being spiritual, but it also equally carries a very heavy psychological effect on the person. Hearing negative words about you always, consistently, that you are useless. You look at yourself, you people are poor. You know, you come from a poor family. Teachers also sometimes speak these things to children. Say, you are poor, you can't pass exams. Your brothers who are here, they failed exams. You are here with your cousins, all of them are failures. Look at them, look at your uncles, they are nothing, you can't become anything. Those words, although they are curses carrying spiritual weight, but they also carry a very heavy psychological effect, damaging the esteem of the person who is being spoken to. Yeah,
we are still in the introductory part of the topic, a big topic on curses.
Yes.
Now, there are some families where you have a history of, let's say, alcohol addiction, or let's say girls not getting married, or the boys not marrying. Are these as a result of curses?
We always want to say that curses tend to produce patterns. So where there are persistent patterns, there is probably a diagnosis in the area of a curse in the family. Can give you an example from our own family. I don't know if I've ever spoken it here some other time. When I was growing up, I had one bad day with my father, and I thank him for that. I had known people can smoke, so I went and made some local cigarette. I took maize tassels, put in a newspaper, and early in the morning when daddy was busy there, mom was in the kitchen, I went behind the kitchen with my cigar that I just made. And I don't know how mom sensed. So she came, she noticed, and she went back. She never spoke to me. She went and told daddy, your boy has begun smoking. So daddy came, and he came with some serious, he was feeding the cows, and he was using the banana leaves. So after removing the leaves, there's a stalk that remains. He held 2 or 3 of them, and daddy dealt with me. I ran, somersaulted several times. The one who stopped was my grandmother. She came shouting, you will kill your son! Kill your son! So that's how I was rescued by my grandmother. But later daddy called me. He told me, son, I don't want to go this route. Because if you begin smoking and drinking, your life will be destroyed. And he said to me that in our clan, drinking that you are about to enter into with this smoking you have begun, it's not just a habit, it's a curse on anyone who drinks. This is what he told me, that there was an elder in the family at one time. They had brewed local brew. And when they had done it, in those days, before he was even born, they should not take the local brew with the eldest man in the place being absent. He has to be there for them to take the brew. But now people gathered, the eldest was not there, and they finished the brew. When the eldest man came, he said, you young people, how could you take this brew? You finished even everything.
For me?
For me. And he said, okay, because of what you have done here now, you've taken all the brew. You will not be drinking for leisure. When you drink, it will destroy you. He said, I'm the eldest and you finished everything. Now when you drink, it will finish you. And he said, from that time, now alcohol became a curse. Anybody who gets hooked on to drinking, they are destroyed. So in our family life, I have an uncle who was a deputy, was a head teacher, demoted to a deputy. Goes to school, teaches very well. He leaves school, goes drinks, falls in a trench. The kids from school, his own people, will carry him home, bring him home. Very smart, very intelligent. He went on from being a head teacher, deputy, and normal teacher, interdicted. Why? Alcohol. People go, they are clinicians, they are this, but the moment they go into alcohol, their lives are destroyed. So now in our family, drinking is not just a habit, it's a curse on that drinking. So that is our own very family. So when I discovered that, now I began to pray, God, this thing has destroyed our parents, our uncles. Now we are here, we can see our cousins are also going to it. God, this thing must stop. Whatever happened, God, we ask for forgiveness. Forgive this family. Break this curse. This thing should end with this generation. So that's how you go about it. Yeah? We talked about marriages, the people who get mistreated and they speak a curse on maybe the men or the girls of that family. There is somebody who could have been married into a family, and after being married, they were expecting her to produce male children, and they gave her so much pressure to produce male children, and maybe she never was able, or she gave birth to male children later. So she said, because of a boy child only, you have put me through so much pressure. There are even families where they had to go get a second wife or third wife because somebody was not able to produce a male child, something like that. And that person, out of anger, will speak a curse on the male children in that family. So people don't know where it's coming from. But this woman, okay, because I have girls only, now you are speaking, you are causing me to go through all these things. You will have male children, but they will all be useless. So you don't know where it came from. But she spoke words like that. So some of these things, the patterns you see in the family, there is always a cause somewhere, and a curse could be one of those causes. Wow.
Now, you talked about people in authority. I mentioned parents, teachers. There are people, is it only if you do certain things? Because you probably can come across a malicious person in authority who just wants to destroy. And they speak ill words against you. Can that still translate to a curse? When you have really not done anything warranting that word curse, word of curse?
That's a good question. Now, according to scripture, a curse without a cause does not hold. A curse without a cause does not stick. So now, people in authority can speak negative words. And the people are speaking out of their own pain, out of their own bias. They are not really having a reasonable cause to speak that negative word. The curse may stick or not stick. I'll give you the reason. How you react sometimes. Because somebody may tell you, you are useless, you've hurt me, you suffer. And now you react by now abusing that person. Now you sin. Now you disrespect, dishonor completely that person. Now how you reacted is what now gave room for that curse to enter. So there was no reason for that person to really curse you. The curse would not have hurt you in any way. But now how you reacted. It was a father who told you, now you can't marry this girl because this girl, I don't like her. I don't like the church she's going to. I am going to this church. If you don't bring me a girl from this church, then I'm not going to be part of that wedding. And you say, okay, because like that now you also respond by abusing your father and speaking negative words about your father. Now, the things you've just spoken against him are the ones that will open the door for the words he had spoken to hurt you. But if you have wisdom, he speaks those words and you say, Daddy, I'm sorry. I never had any evil intention and I have nothing against you. For me, what I've done is out of a clean heart. So whatever you have said, it has no room over me and I have nothing against you. I'm praying well for you. And you move away. So
it's not very fair.
Because how you react.
Because sometimes the way you react is just an impulse. If you abuse me, I am impulsed to throw some bad word before I realize.
That's the challenge. That's why we are here talking. That's why this information is going out.
Yeah.
The spiritual dimension of life does not have so much emotions. It deals with the rules and principles, laws. So you break a rule, you break a law, you get punished. So whether you did that out of emotions, out of impulse, you broke a law. So the spirits are very smart. They may not get you because you did not have a reason to receive that curse. But now, how you react to the words that were spoken now opens a big door. Some of those words begin to find expression.
Yeah, what I can also say or add there is that it's very important for us to bring up children to respect elders.
Very true.
Whatever the case.
Yes.
This being an elder, just respect them, irrespective of what comes from them. But for you, you have that burden of respect. That then will enable you to avoid those exchanges.
Yes.
Because he being my elder, even if he abuses me, I cannot speak back.
Yeah. Because the moment you begin abusing back,
even if he is the one who was wrong.
Even if he is the one who was wrong.
Now it comes to you.
That is it. The biblical example of Noah. Noah was wrong. He was sleeping naked, exposed. The sons come, the younger one just bumps into him. It was not the error of the young man. Daddy was the one who was on the wrong. But now how he reacted. It is suggested that he was overexcited to see Daddy naked and he went and told jokingly the others that Daddy is sleeping and clothed. So now the others took a piece of cloth and came and covered the father. But if for these things to be recorded, the man was not asleep. He was only drowsy because he must have asked who was making jokes around me here. And that's when he was told those things. So Daddy was wrong, but the reaction of the son is what now allowed the curse to hit him. So we just want to be careful, especially this age where people say, don't care. Where people, especially the elderly, the aged people, be careful with them. You don't have authority to challenge everybody. And if you have to challenge them with wisdom. And where necessary, don't even go into a fight. Don't challenge every word. Go and challenge them on your knees in prayer. Or if you have to speak with a lot of wisdom. And do not overstep your limits. this way I need to stop, that is it. Just go away. So that whatever they keep on saying does not find a gate you have opened to enter into your life.
Yeah.
And so curses can be spoken, and people, even those who may be wrong and you may be right, the same words they speak can affect you if you are not careful how you react to those people. But again, it's good for people to be in Christ, people to be in God. Because when you are now in God, in Christ, He will give you wisdom, and He will also give you spiritual covering. Some things will come sent to you, but the Bible says no weapon
fashioned against you will prosper.
So some of these things, people speak curses against you, they will just speak words. But now because you are in a place of safety in God, you could be shielded from some of these things. We have gone so much, maybe I need to touch one of them before we finish.
Yes, I was going to ask you that if there's anything you feel we need to put into this.
So I just thought one more thing for this introductory one. We talked of curses from people in authority.
Yeah.
Then a little on people in covenant. People that are in agreement. You go into an organization where you're putting money together, like what we call a merry-go-round, and you give money every month or every week. You have an agreement. Then you pull out without having settled the other people, and you leave those people whom you are together speaking negatively. And they say, we gave you our money and you took it, so you go with that money, it will never help you. No money will ever help you.
I want you to repeat this to women, to ladies. You in the chairman, listen to this.
Yeah, it happens a lot because people, we live in a don't care society.
Yes, you go into a chairman, you eat the money and then you disappear.
You are 7 or 10 people, every month or every week you are giving funds to an individual. And you are giving the money the third person. Remember, it was a collective gift from all the other people. And you pull out. And you leave these 9 people angry and cursing. And they will speak words.
Yes, and this is actually, on a serious note, very common in the ladies' groupings. I know of ladies, even right now, who are paying heavily.
Yes.
Because they were in a group, somebody took a loan and disappeared, and so the others have to pay.
And because of that, these people who remain here, they may pay the money, but you will pay with your destiny. You will suffer. The curses, the words they speak in pain. We are going through this because of you. You will suffer. Your children will suffer. Nothing you do will ever succeed.
And maybe they may not even speak those exact words. But the pain that they are feeling as they pay this money.
Actually, it's good. Maybe we shall speak it some other time. Curses come from a place of pain. Many serious curses that stick come from a place of pain. So the pain, sometimes it may be voiced or not voiced. Some parents may not even speak a curse, but they're in pain so deep. And that pain in their hearts translates to a curse in the lives of other people. So anybody in agreement, covenant, when you break covenants, and anybody who is in a covenant can speak words that can affect anybody in that kind of setup. Then the last one, so authority, covenant, then the last one, occult. Occult. This is where now witchcraft comes in. Because these ones are more social. But this one is directly spiritual. Where somebody will go and get a cloth that belongs to Dennis, and they'll take the piece of cloth being representative of you, and they will write on accident. And they will take it and do whatever they do to it. Then from that time, this person can have multiple accidents that they are marked to die through accidents. Like that. So you wonder, what is following me? What is following me? This a curse, a negative word. Remember we said a curse is a negative word. This person executing this is in authority spiritually. If you had time, I would have shown you in Numbers 22, the story of Balaam and Balak.
Yes, we will have to dwell with this one exhaustively.
We will have to.
And its own episode.
Yeah.
But we know the story of
Balaam and Balak. Balak hires a spiritualist
to broadcast the Israelites.
He says, perhaps then I will defeat them. And see, he was being made to stand at a vantage point where he could see them and speak words. Only that when he would try to speak negative words,
only positive words
are coming out. But imagine for God to come and hijack his mouth so that he does not speak a negative word. It means those words were powerful enough to affect those people if they were allowed to go out there. So there are people now, these are occult curses. They are spiritual curses where people go onto altars and get words spoken against other people. But this one will not succeed in their education. This one, their marriage will not succeed. This one should not happen like this. And ask some people, when they go consulting on the witches, they are asked, what do you want to happen to that other person? And they are told, speak it out. So you speak. I want her to get sick. I want them to separate. I want their marriage to fail. I want their businesses to go down. They speak those words around an altar. Then spirits carry those words and execute. They are occult curses.
Thank you for watching this episode. As if you have watched it to the end, you know how heavy it is. In our next episode, we are going to continue on the issue of curses. And from the occult curses, I am sure that interest is going to be on that. We will dwell on that in detail. Stay tuned, subscribe, so that when the next episode comes around, you will know, you'll be notified.
Yeah.
And please share this information so that a lot more people are educated on these important issues. Thank you for watching. Till next time, God bless.